I found it so interesting that I lost even more weight, even though I started eating yesterday. Hey guys, I just started a 72-hour water fast as of last night, which means I'm not going to be eating any food or consume any beverages except just plain water for 3 whole days. And I wanted to document this challenge or journey with you guys so that I stick to it. I have attempted this challenge a couple of times before, but miserably failed at around 18 to 20 hour mark. And I am almost at the 20-hour mark now. There are a couple of reasons I really wanted to try this 72-hour water fast for the longest time. First reason is, I'm not gonna lie, I am still on my weight loss journey after giving birth. I am at my pre-pregnancy weight, but I started 5 kilos heavier than what I normally am at the time that I found out I was pregnant. So I do want to lose at least another 3-4 kilos to get back to my normal sort of weight that I'm really happy with. So honestly, I just want to lose a couple more kilos. And the other reason is I'm just really curious. I've researched the benefits of longer term fasting for a while now, and the benefits just sound so magnificent. Your body not only will go into a fat burning mode, but it also goes into self-repair phases. It'll produce a lot of growth hormones. I just cannot wait to see what this fasting can do for me. The biggest chronic health issue I've got going is eczema. It flares up on and off, and it has been pretty bad since about 3 months postpartum. I'm not sure if it's hormonal, but I have not had many flare-ups in the last, say, 10 years or so. So this is probably the first time in about a decade that I'm getting these frequent flare-ups. So fasting is supposed to reduce inflammation and get your body into a repair mode, and it can improve a lot of autoimmune conditions, which eczema is one of them. Your skin is just hypersensitive, just reacts to things that it doesn't need to react to. So I just really want to see if this 3-day water fast can improve that as well. That'll be really great. Anyway, this is a little bit of a different type of video for my channel, so it may be a little all over the place, but I think it will be a good idea to show you my metrics and how I look before the fasting. I mean, it has been about 18 hours. That just means I had dinner last night and I skipped breakfast, and this is now late afternoon, which normally this will be the point that I am so tempted to eat and just break my fast. So I decided I'm gonna turn the camera on and get you guys to keep me accountable, and this might give me some motivation to actually see this through. Okay, let's start by documenting my pre-fasting body so we can make a comparison at the end of the 3 days. I'll also measure my weight as well. My main concern is my belly. So after the pregnancy, I haven't quite lost all of my belly. I just pulled my leggings down a little bit because it's high-waisted and you couldn't really see the extent of the lower belly fat. You can just see how I've got that little pouch down the bottom, and you can also see that on the side. I never used to have this before the pregnancy, and even though I'm at my pre-pregnancy weight, my body shape has completely changed, especially around this midsection. So I want to see how much of this I can lose within the 3 days. Now let's step on the scale and document how much I weigh currently before the fast. 56.1. Okay, a little heavier than just a week ago. I was about 55. So that is our before weight. So there we have it. We have my before stats. Anyway, it is about 2:30 p.m. and it has been 19 hours since I started my fast. So far, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not craving any food. I was hungry maybe a couple of hours ago. I was really thinking, should I just stop this and start again another time? But I just made myself busy, and now I'm actually feeling quite okay. I also went to Pilates this morning, which wasn't any different to what I usually do because I usually go on an empty stomach in the morning. So I didn't have any issues there. I plan on doing some light exercises throughout. But yeah, I'm going to keep myself busy in the next couple of hours. I do have a video that I need to finish editing. Hubby has gone out with baby Sia to meet his parents so he can have some lunch while I fast, because he felt like it would be not nice for him to eat in front of me, which I would have been completely okay with, but that is definitely another factor. If I didn't have a hubby and a baby, fasting would be so much easier. They need to be fed, and that can be a little bit of a challenge, but I am determined to see this through this time. I am about 25 hours into this fasting. It is about 8:30 p.m. I am starting to feel a little bit lethargic, but I'm not too hungry. I can definitely feel that my tummy is really empty. I also noticed that I am the most tempted around the 18 to 20 hour mark. So as soon as I went past the 20-hour mark, I was starting to feel a lot better again. Every time I attempted in the past, I always gave up after about 18-20 hours. So I feel like at least I'm over that first hurdle. This is like the unknown territory now because I've never made it this far. I am really proud that I made it past the 24-hour mark. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll be halfway through this fast. So I am feeling really motivated right now. But I think that 18-hour mark is really hard mentally. You just kind of think, what am I doing this for? Aren't we designed to eat? I should just eat and try and just eat healthy rather than just fast. So mentally it's really hard around that time, I found. But after I went past that point, I feel mentally a lot stronger. So right now I'm feeling pretty good. I actually had to cook for my baby, so that kind of made me feel a little bit hungry when I was cooking her dinner. Anyways, I fed her, got her ready for bed, put her down, cleaned up after that. And now I'm just thinking I should just have a shower and call it a night, go to bed early. I've watched so many 3-day fast vlogs, and the number one tip that everyone had was to just sleep a lot. I definitely agree. There's nothing like sleep that can take your mind off eating, and sleep is going to repair my body even further. I know I don't usually get enough sleep, so this is a great opportunity to get more sleep hours in. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. This is day 2 and it's already 3 p.m. I had a really busy morning and early afternoon because my bestie who has been on a holiday, she slipped and hurt herself and she ended up with a couple of fractures. So I really needed to go see her. So it was a bit of a last minute thing. I went and got some flowers in the morning, got some groceries and headed right there and spent some time with her. And I'm just driving back home now. So it was kind of good that the morning kept me really busy because it took my mind off eating. But I have to say, I'm definitely feeling quite hungry now. But I am way past the halfway point, which is a motivation in itself that I've made it this far, that I'm not gonna stop now. So when I get home, I am gonna go on the scale and see if I lost any weight since yesterday. It is already getting really dark, so I've got the ceiling light on, so excuse the shadows. But anyway, let's head on the scale. I'm wearing something really similar to what I was wearing yesterday, so it should give us a pretty good indication. Wow, 55.3. So yesterday it was 56.1, so I've lost 800 grams so far, which is not too bad. I believe I went on the scale around about the same time yesterday, maybe an hour earlier, around 3 p.m. So it has been just over 24 hours and I've lost 800 grams. I guess I have no idea what to expect with this fasting, but it's just tracking progress. I'm still not feeling too bad, so I'm really surprised that I'm holding up pretty well. I forgot to mention yesterday, the other thing that I'm hoping to achieve by doing this 3-day water fast is having a better relationship with food. So I haven't been eating the best in the last few weeks. I've just been eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of bad snacks like chips, chocolate, ice cream, you name it. And I wasn't having them in moderation either. I was having a lot of them. So I'm hoping that my palate changes a little bit, that I am going to appreciate the more healthy foods. That will be really awesome to achieve through this fast. Now there's going to be a real test because I do need to head to the grocery store to pick up a few things for baby C to cook her dinner. So it might get really bad with all the fruit staring at me, but it needs to be done. I do need to pick up these groceries. So I'm going to head over and do that now. Okay, it's about 7:30 p.m. day 2. 48 hours into this fast, and I'm starting to feel quite lightheaded. So apparently you can balance out your electrolytes with some salt and some water, and that's supposed to make you feel better. So whenever you feel a little bit dizzy, you're supposed to have that. So I just got some out on a tiny little bowl. I'm literally just gonna have some salt and see if I feel any better. I've also been standing up for like an hour and a half cooking baby C's food and cleaning up, and all of a sudden I just got this dizzy spell. So yeah, let me see if this salt will make me feel better. I am 50 hours in. It is about 9:30 p.m. I did feel a little better after having some salt. I'm not sure if it was having a couple of pinches of salt or sitting down for about half an hour, but after having the salt and sitting down, I was able to function again. I am feeling pretty hungry, but it is not unbearable. But I just realized today is the last day that I'm gonna eat absolutely nothing. Tomorrow, I am breaking my fast around dinner time, 7:30 p.m. So I am definitely looking forward to that. Tomorrow is not going to be all day of fasting. I'm going to have something to look forward to. Even though it is really important how you break your fast, you're supposed to have really small portions. A lot of people break their fast with some bone broth. Luckily, Koreans have lots of dishes that are bone broth based. So I'm going to take away a bone broth dish. So I'm going to have that ready for dinner. I've heard nuts are really good to break your fast with as well. Anyway, I think I'm going to be on my phone for a little while because we are in the process of planning baby C's first birthday, which is coming up just in a few weeks. And after that, we are heading to Bali, as some of you may know. And there's a lot of organizing to do there as well. So I'll just do some research on my phone and go to bed really early tonight once again. It is the final day of my 3-day fast. Physically, it was the most difficult this morning. I woke up around 7:30. I was really dizzy. I couldn't even get up, so I was lying in bed for a good 20 minutes. I peeled myself off bed and had some warm salt water, and it probably made me feel better in about 15-20 minutes. But funnily enough, after about an hour of waking up and feeling really dizzy, I started feeling a lot better, which was just really strange. So at this point, I am over 60 hours into this fast and there's only about 9 hours to go. It's about 11 a.m. at the moment. So I'm feeling pretty great. Mentally, I have to say the first day was the most difficult, but physically, it was definitely the most difficult this morning. I'll see how I go for the rest of the 8-9 hours I have, but I'm feeling great at the moment. So today I'm gonna go and buy the bone broth, and I bought some nuts as well. So I might continue this video and show you exactly what I eat for the following few days after finishing my fast. And then at the end of the fast, I'm going to measure my weight again and show you what my body looks like after the 72 hours. I might actually have to do that tomorrow morning because the room's going to be really dark. But anyway, I'll check back with you guys in a few hours. All right, I am 1 whole hour past my 72-hour mark, so I went a little bit over because I was just so busy in the evening. I was just feeding baby C and there was just so much to clean up. So I put her to bed and now it's like 8:30 p.m., which means I've made it past the 3 whole day mark. The plan was to break my fast tonight with some bone broth, but I might actually break my fast tomorrow morning because I feel like it's just a little bit too late to eat anything at this time because I am intending on going to bed pretty early tonight as well to just keep up with a good routine. So I don't want to go to bed 2 hours after eating. And I actually feel pretty great. So I don't feel the need to eat right now. I think I can actually last another night. So tomorrow morning, I am going to measure myself for the final weight. And I guess that'll make it like an 85-hour water fast. So yeah, I am going to get ready for bed. But literally the rest of the day, apart from that little dizzy spell in the morning, I felt great. Today was probably the easiest day out of the 3 days. Anyway, I'm gonna relax and go to bed now. Alright guys, it is about 10 a.m. the next morning, moments before I break my fast. So I technically did about 86 hours of fasting, which is a little bit over all 3 days, but does the evening of the first day really count? If we don't count that, it's still about 3 days. So let me step on the scale before I break my fast with some nuts. So... all right, we finished my fast at 54.3 kilos, which is almost 2 kilos down from when I started, which was at 56.1. Anyway, I'm not feeling very well, so I'm gonna go eat my nuts and then I'll chat to you guys about my review of this 3-day water fast in a moment. I'm going to be breaking my fast with about 20 grams of these nuts. Apparently, it's good to break your fast with a very small snack about 1 hour before your first meal. So I'm going to have these first, and then in about an hour's time, I'm going to have a small bowl of the bone broth that I bought yesterday from a Korean butcher. Let me show you. So I bought this bone broth. Koreans love their bone broth soup anyway, so it was really easy to get this from the Korean butcher. I checked the ingredients to make sure that they didn't have anything artificial added to the broth. They only have 100% Australian beef bone with some garlic, spring onion, salt and pepper, which is completely fine. And when I checked the macros, there was very minimal amounts of sugar and carbs. So this will be fine to break my fast with. Hey guys, this is one day after I finished my fast. I was going to finish this video at the point that I finished my fasting, but this morning I found it so interesting that I lost even more weight, even though I started eating yesterday. So I know if you win out of your fast properly with the proper foods that you're supposed to eat when you're coming out of a fast, you will lose more weight for the few days following. So in theory, I knew that, but when I actually saw the numbers go down, it kind of really surprised and excited me. So I decided to extend this video and make it a 7-day thing. So 3 days water fast and 4 days sort of recovery meals and how much more weight I ended up losing. And also there's a lot of information out there about the types of food you're supposed to eat when you come out of a fast. So I was really confused about it and I finally decided on what I'm gonna do. So I thought it would be nice to share that with you as well. But just to share with you, I'm gonna insert the cutaway here. But when I measured myself today, I lost another 500 grams. So what I ate yesterday was around 10:30 or 11 a.m. I broke my fast with 20 grams of nuts, and then about an hour later I had 100 grams of bone broth that I bought from a Korean butcher. That's all I ate. And then I started feeling kind of weak around 1:32 and I had to go into work at around 2. So at around 1:30 I ate some more nuts. I think I probably just had a few pieces. That made me feel better. Came home around 5 o'clock, and before I went out to meet the girls, which was at like 7:30, I ate some more nuts, a few pieces again, and another 100 grams of the bone broth, plus some of the beef that was in there. But I wanted to eat something before I went out to dinner because I didn't want to be tempted with all the amazing food that my friends were having. So I'm really proud of myself. I found a soup on the menu that seemed like it was really plain, and I asked the waitress if there's any sugar or any sauce in the soup, and she said no, it's just broth. It was an abalone, mushroom and chicken soup. It was really delicious, but it was tiny like this. So I'd assume it'll be about 200 grams compared to the 100 grams that I measured up at home when I was having my bone broth, and I only had about half of it. But I did eat the little abalone, 2 little mushrooms in there, and the pieces of chicken. I made sure I chewed everything really thoroughly because my digestive system has been resting for the past 3 days and I didn't want to upset my stomach. And I had some sparkling water. And for dessert, I just had some green tea. So I did eat things that were mainly fat and protein. Apparently, it's really important not to introduce carbs straight away. That's how you yo-yo and start gaining weight again. Then it'll basically make your fasting period, all that hard work, sort of pointless. So a lot of people do healthy fatty foods like nuts, avocado. Some people break their fast with steamed vegetables, like a vegetable soup. But vegetables still have some carbs, so I wanted to wait until a couple of days later to have some vegetables. So today, which is the second day after breaking my fast, I had a very similar sort of meals. So for late breakfast around 11 a.m., I'm still trying to maintain the intermittent fasting. So I did about 15 hours of no eating, and I had my first meal today around 11 o'clock. I had the same thing. I had 20 grams of nuts and about 100 grams of bone broth with some meat in it. That's all I had so far. It is about 4 p.m. right now. So what I'm planning to do for dinner is I'm going to have an early dinner because I'm getting hungry again. What I'm planning to have is some celery juice, and then I'm thinking I'm going to try and have healthy and digestible protein and fat for dinner. So I'm thinking of making like an egg stew with some tofu in it, and then tomorrow I'm planning on actually making my vegetable soup. So that is a plan for tonight and tomorrow, and I'm really interested to see if I actually lose any more weight tomorrow. So I'll check back in with you tomorrow. This is day 3 of my recovery diet. From today, I decided to measure myself first thing in the morning. It's just easier to keep consistent. So let's head on the scale. 53.0. It's another 600 or 700 grams less. So even though I started eating, I'm continuing to go down. So I'm interested to see how long this is going to continue for. recovery diet, and it marks day 7 from where I started this video, so it is going to be our last weigh-in. So let's have a look together. Let me step on the scale. Wow, so lost another 300 grams. So the final weigh-in comes in at 52.7, down from 56.1. All right, let's do the 7-day body check. So my belly has definitely gone in. I'm not sure if you can see much of a difference, but I can definitely feel it. It feels so much sort of lighter around the abdomen. There we are. So obviously not perfect. I still have a little work to do, but I definitely feel so much better. So that is how it's looking at day 7. In conclusion, do I think this was a worthwhile exercise? Definitely yes. I'm actually filming this wrap-up section exactly a week after I finished my fast because I wanted to give a bit of a better perspective after it has been a little while. I just didn't know whether I was going to yo-yo straight away or if I was going to crave food so much in the days following that I would have just ruined the whole thing by just overeating. So I wanted to give myself some time before I talk to you how I thought it all went. In terms of the total weight loss, I ended up going down further to about 51.9 kilos in the days following after I showed you what I was eating to come out of the fast in the 3 days following. I continued to eat very small portions and diet around vegetables and raw foods for another 3 days or so. And then on day 6, I started having some rice, a normal Korean meal, and started increasing my portion sizes. So now I'm eating somewhat more normally. I've always done intermittent fasting, so my first meal of the day is usually early lunch, and then I have dinner. So I usually only have 2 meals, but my diet is somewhat back to normal and my weight has gone back up to about 53 kilos. I have to admit, the last couple of days I ate probably a lot more than what I should have done. So I should have really given my body a few more days to portion adjust, but I just wanted to eat. So my portion control wasn't the best in the last couple of days. So my weight had come back up a little quicker than I expected. But anyway, all the way from 56, I am still maintaining at 53, which I'm really happy about. My skin was really clear in the days following, but now that I started eating more, I feel like my eczema and some inflammation is coming back. So I don't know, if you want to have a really dramatic result with reducing inflammations and things, you might need a longer fast. Maybe 3 days isn't long enough, but it has definitely improved. The other benefit of doing this 3-day fast is that I really broke the cycle of having junk food. So I have not touched junk food yet. Well, it's only been a week or so, but I really don't crave it, which I think my taste buds have reset. So even though I wasn't the best with portion control, it was with healthy foods, but I'm not craving like chocolates and snacks like I used to. So I'm really happy that that cycle has really broken. I don't know how long this is gonna last, so I can do a follow-up in a couple of months' time to see how I'm really going, if I've relapsed or not in terms of the bad eating habits. And I have learned to really appreciate how nice it is to be going to sleep on an empty stomach. I used to snack late in the evening quite frequently and had no actual discomfort or awareness of how uncomfortable it is to sleep on a rather full stomach. But after doing this 3-day fast and coming out of the fast with very small portions and portion controlled meals, the other day I had some yogurt and blueberries around 9 p.m. and I was trying to go to bed around 11:30 p.m. 12, and I felt like I was still not digested. I was quite uncomfortable. It was quite eye-opening because I never realized that that feeling was such a discomfort. So now I try to finish my meals earlier, my snacks earlier, so I have at least 4 to 6 hours of no eating before going to bed. So all in all, I think I have implemented really good eating habits after this fast, so definitely really worth it. I have lost a few kilos. I'm really happy about that. My skin has improved. So all in all, really worth it, but it was not an easy 3 days. So I'm not sure if I can do this again. Apparently it's good to do it every 6 months or so, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm game enough. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this very different video of mine. I just wanted to share what else goes on in my days and in my life. And this sort of like health, nutrition have been a huge interest of mine in the last few months. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you still enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending some of your precious time with me today. And I can't wait to see you again soon in my next video. Bye guys.